the same two guys on defense in the league again. Brian B. And on offense, we've got Brady and Levi Brown, who both, all four of those guys, they play extremely well in that game. They need them to play well against Middle Tennessee on Friday night. So, as you know, it's an abbreviated week. Today's Tuesday, so we didn't put much practice last night, which we normally don't practice on Sundays, but that was Monday. Today will be Tuesday, and then keep on rolling like Friday to Saturday. So, had a great challenge this week. Of course, with the middle, they had a great win. Went down 21-0 to FAU there at the home last week. Came back and found a way to win that game. So, it seems like it starts with Stockstill, the quarterback. His dad's been there, I think, 12 or 13 years. It's like he's been around with his dad. So he's been there forever. But he's just such a competitive kid. Great young guy that just plays extremely hard. He's a handful. He makes plays with his feet. Extremely tough. And there's you watch him at the FAU game on that last drive. They took it down to win the game. He made two just unbelievable plays. He sprints out on 4th and 2 and gets the first down there to continue the drive. And then that 2-point play he made there at the end of the game to win it for him was just the guy's right in his face, and he throws it across his body into the tight end to make a play there. So he's a handful, and he's got good players around him. They got their tailback back. Thomas in that game, 21, had been hurt all year, so he's back now for them, and they're back and healthy. So they're an excellent team. They're well coached. Stock does such a tremendous job of coaching those guys, and they'll come in here ready to play. We got to make sure we have a great week of preparation. So.
How you feel about Friday night football? I mean, it's a different atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, just like I say, it's we had a couple Friday games last year on the road. Our game with this team a year ago, Middle Tennessee, was a Friday on the road. We played really well in that game on the road, so it's going to be important to do that again here. So we can't control that. TV does, so we just get ready for the play.
Seems like they got their safety composition back with Moffitt getting back on the field. What type of dynamic does he bring to the field from a defensive standpoint?
They've always had a big physical safety that can also cover, and the last guy they had prior to this guy is still in the NFL, so they've done a good job with that. He gets involved in the run game, and he's just a really, really good player. So, like I say, they got the 3 of those 4 kids in secondary are seniors. So they play a lot of football for them. 3 of their guys up front on the offensive line are seniors. A couple of them have been all conference players. So they got a lot of players back. They missed a quarterback a year ago. He's missed a couple of years there where he's had some injury issues, but he's back now. And he's healthy, and he's a guy.
Stockstill, I know that if you sit back and let him, he'll pick you apart. So getting after him. Last week you all did a good job of getting after Western Kentucky's quarterback early. Is a sort of a similar mindset with Stockstill, get him off rhythm and not let him establish himself?
He's similar to the. He's different, a little bit different style-wise as a kid at NC State. And the kid at NC State did the same thing that Virginia did against us, and he just makes plays. He's very accurate, as you mentioned. Things Stockstill's a little bit different than the kid at NC State because when things do break down, he's got tremendous. He's going to take off with it. He never slides. He's like when he gets that ball in his hand. He's not going to slide and get down. He's like a running back running the ball. So, but he is. He's very accurate. Similar to the NC State. You can't give him easy access throws, as you mentioned, because he'll thread the needle. He'll throw the ball in there. So he's a challenge because he can beat you with his feet. Get on the perimeter and run the quarterback runs, which is a little different than the NC State guy. They weren't quite as much quarterback runs as what Middle is, but he's just he does it all, and like I say, he does it extremely well.
Defensively, they're going to bring some heat at you all, and they sort of live by it, die by it. Does that open up the one-on-one opportunities, and if so, how comfortable do you all feel in this situation?
At times, they're a little different than we were a year ago. A year ago, they were almost all 3 down. They've gone to some 4 down stuff this year, so they're mixing 4 down and 3 down, and so it's based on formations. But they're a little bit different defensively, but they're still, the defensive coordinator is still a very aggressive guy that brings a lot of pressure, gets after you, and so we'll expect a lot of that, just like we got a year ago.
For somebody like Levi Brown, he's captain this week. It sort of magnifies his deal this week because he's on a short week, yet he's got to know all the assignments, the reads, and be able to convey that to his fellow linemen.
Yeah, and he's done a good job with that. He's done a good job. But like I say, the same. A lot of these guys played against that 3 3 down pressure package a year ago, so hopefully that'll help some. And, like I said, they are a little bit different with some of the things they're doing, but for the most part, it's not a whole lot. We've seen it all. If not this year, we saw it against them a year ago.
You look at, toward the end of the game, you had a couple guys, Armani went down and Green went down. Are they?
We got, it's the same old deal. I mean, you look at Middle against FAU, and it's a very physical game, and then as a really a physical game, we played against, Western. Right? A lot of guys had some guys banged up, so I think for the most part we'll be all right. We'll just have to wait and see here at the end of the week. But I think we practiced, Armani practiced last night, and so I think it should be fine.
The fourth quarter, you all were able to establish a run. It was the field goal drive that put you all up 13-10. I think Tyler had the longest run of the year on that drive, and you all were able to do some things. How much did that open up that last drive in which you were able to get those chunk completions and switch up Western Kentucky with it?
Well, it helps. I mean, you can't be one-dimensional. You got to continue to try to run the football. And as you mentioned, second half, we did run a little better. I think we averaged almost 3.9 yards per rush, which is like a field of 4. But they didn't run the ball very well. I think they averaged 1.9 yards per rush. So we did run the ball a little better, and I think when you can mix it up, and they've got to respect the run, and there's no question it's going to help them throw the ball a little better. So we just got to continue to take what that defense gives us, and part of that is running the football. We allow that to happen. And we were better in the second half. We got to build on that and be better again this week.
It seemed like Tyler King really started to explode. Early in the season, it seemed like he was more patient, but a couple of those runs in the fourth quarter, it seemed like he just hit the hole and sort of exploded out of the box, which was good for you all to see, obviously.
It was, and he's a little more physical than people give him credit for. He's 190 pounds, whatever he is, but he's physical. He's a physical runner, and we're going to need that. We're going to need Keon Anthony, all 3 of those guys to step up and play.
Those offenses kind of struggle to convert on third downs. How important is it to see some improvement there?
Well, there's no question, extremely important. One thing I thought, we went into that game. I think I said here last Tuesday. I said we want to make sure we try to do a couple of things better. I said number one, defensively, get off the field on third down. We did that. On third and fourth downs. Against those guys, they didn't convert that very well. I said we have to do a better job of converting on third downs. We didn't make the improvement there that we felt we needed to make. It's going to happen this week. And I felt like we had to run the ball better. We did. We can't be satisfied where we are with that, but it was better. And so those are areas and that's all the time. I mean, any game you play is going to come down to who could convert third downs and stay on the field, and our defense can get off the field on third down. And fortunately for us, they did that on third and fourth down last week against Western. And I thought the defense played extremely well. You take away, had a couple of bonehead plays there. At one at the end there, we got the ball thrown over our head. You eliminate 2 of those plays. I mean, that team had right at 200 yards of total offense. That's where it should have been. So it's going to keep getting better. We're in game 5 now, and we just got to improve as a team in all 3 areas. And it's going to be important. Friday night that we. I talk all the time about being the best team on the field. In order to do that, you got to play tremendous special teams. But I thought we were okay special team wise. Saturday based on what they did, and you got to play great defense, which felt we got better there, and our offense can't. We got to limit those turnovers now. I mean, there's very few. I mean, I guarantee you, after a game, you turn the ball over 4 times, and you've won the game. That's unusual. I mean, how you walk in there and you see. I look at the stat sheet. Now, good thing is they turned it over 3. I mean, if you're sitting there at -4, you're gonna lose the game. So that can't happen. You got to take care of the football, and you got to get better on that, and you got to continue to take it away on defense.
The start to the game. I know it's critical anytime you're playing, but it seems like Middle Tennessee's really struggled to get out of the gate. Even in a couple of their wins, like you said, they went down last week, and against UT Martin, they were sort of sluggish out of the gate, and that's been a strong suit of yours this season.
Well, I think for the most part, it's important we do start fast. I mean, that's something we want to start fast in every game we play, and so hopefully we can start fast. And like I say, Middle. I tell you one thing about Middle Tennessee, and I know stock for a long time. That team's going to play extremely hard. I mean, they're to go down 21-0 and come back and win that game the way they did with a 2-point conversion there at the end just shows you the character they have and the toughness they have. And that's a direct reflection on him as the head coach. So we'll have our hands full. They're going to come in here and like we always do. We'll get their best shot. And just got to make sure that they get ours. So that's important thing. It's important our fans show up, and I know they will. You know, it's great. I mean, it's amazing the way we travel on the road. You know, we go on the road, and we got so many fans that follow us there. We have more fans at Western there than what NC State brought to here, which is a credit to our fan base. And Friday night game, the weather's going to be great, so we got to pack this place on Friday night and find a way to win this game. It's a conference game, and every conference game you play, it's like I say, it's like you got to play like it's a championship game. And so we got to have championship fans here, and we got to play really well and see if we can go 2-0 in the conference. Okay, thanks, guys.